Hi folks, welcome. I just thought I'd bring you in on this the latest firing that we had in my propane gas kiln. I had this actually some days back. I just haven't got around to making a video of it as yet. But yeah, so I thought I'd just go through it with you and we can talk about it, warts and all. Generally speaking, it was a good firing, good melt, good reduction, nice colours. The firing was, with the exception, I think, of this board here in the middle, was completely a raw once fire. Some of these mugs I already had some, and I still got a few more over there, which were those are bisqued, those. So I've got to clear a lot of this bisque stuff away, you know. Most of the other stuff though in here is all this, for example. This is all rawware. All those tankards. So yeah. So I'll start up here. These were raw fired. These are little oil lamps with a little menorah there on the handle. So you put the olive oil in here, and then you put a wick out here where my thumb is touching, and it burns. They came out quite well. Just no glaze, just simply sprayed with wood ash, and you just simply hold it like that, you see. So there's those. These here, all raw. These come out quite nicely, quite pleased. T-bowl here with a Hakami underglaze, transparent glaze over, iron oxide and cobalt pigment. Basically the same with this one. Quite nice. These I was pleased with. These came out, these were, I did a milky glaze on the inside, and then on the outside I did my, what I call crocodile glaze, which is basically just red clay and wood ash 50-50 mix, with a kind of pattern under the glaze there. They've come out rather well. I quite like those, have to say. This one was paddled and came out actually quite nice. Again, this is paddled with my sushi paddle. Milky glaze again on the inside. That one there, that was that's my field glaze, which I've added a little feldspar and wood ash to, just to slightly lower the melting point and make it a little bit more glassy. This has like a paddle design on the outside with wood ash. One more here. Again, this is that crocodile glaze with milky on the inside with a kind of grass pattern there. Yeah, I'm happy with the way that is behaving. I had some plates. I'll just put these out here just so we can have a look at them. These are once fire plates. So they're Hakami toasty rims, you see. That's those guys. Pretty much this center board here, all bisque fired. This is iron oxide with milky glaze over the top. Those two on the end. All the rest I think are foxgloves. It came out pretty nice. No complaints there. That's about as good as it gets, I think. With that, nice iron on the foxglove there. So these all came out very, very well. Very pleased with those for the most part, yeah. Then some of these here, which were kind of iron oxide foxglove, but with a wood ash spray on the outside. Yeah. If there's anybody interested in any of these pots, they're pretty much all available. So just grab a still. If you see in this video, grab a still from it, and if you want a pot, just give me a shout, as it were. Yeah, that's all of them. Okay, following on this board here, these were a Chino glaze actually, with the iron oxide, Hakami, and wood ash decoration. They all came out kind of nice actually, quite nice. Alright, so that's those. All these guys here up to there, these are all field glaze and wood ash. Not complicating things. These were once fired, raw fired. All of this board raw fired. So this one I kind of sort of paddle the outside with a butter paddle thing, and that's got the field glaze. Field glaze. Can't beat the old field glaze, can you? I'm sort of trying to work with that. Oh, I'm happy with it. This one is it's got a little impressions in it, as you can see there. Again with the field glaze. The wood ash, you see, can be very nice, can't it? Very spectacularly nice. Some bottles I had here. These were down in the bottom of the kiln. These were raw, once fired, and Hakami iron oxide. Yeah, quite nice. Well, you know, reasonably pleased with those. These ones here, a couple that were, let's bring them out in the light a bit. Hakami with iron oxide decoration. That's quite nice. Sort of repeat design, basically with the white slip underneath, and then sort of cobalt and iron on the top. So yeah, it worked out quite nice. Quite pleased with that. Once fire. La 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 la. Gotta love the once firing, haven't you? Simplify one's life. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, at the end here we have these guys, the boticos. I think you saw me making those, didn't you? See how the ash glaze runs, but it catches there just on that lip at the base. Quite satisfying. I think it's a very pleasant design in terms of visually, but it's also nice to use. Now these ones, I know people said to me, oh, but Simon, you defeated the object because you high-fired those. It is true, I have high-fired these because I'm not bisque firing, you see. So I just decided as I'll just do a load and put them in and just spray wood ash over them. It does defeat the object. They don't work as an evaporative water cooler, but nevertheless I couldn't wait to, I just wanted to get them fired. I just thought they'd, you see there on the handle the roller impressed design, that little roller wheel. So yeah, I haven't worked out exactly how much these are going to be, but they're probably going to be about 80 bucks. Okay, let's talk about some of the things that perhaps went wrong. Here is one of the little boticos, and you can see, what's happened. The mouthpiece here was just lying on the floor of the kiln like that, you see. It had blown off, which I must say I was not expecting that to happen, but I'll talk about that and some other effects that we had that occurred. Now you see this pot, I didn't show you this one, did I? But this was the one that was actually impressed with a corn cob, and then I noticed it's got a crack in the rim there, you see that? So that made me think, why did that have a crack there? Because I didn't notice that it had a crack there earlier on. And then I looked at some of these. Now these were once fired. I don't know if you can, if this is going to come out in the camera. Where my thumb is there's a sort of, yeah, a little mark. Oh look, and there again, you see there. Oh look, and there again, another. It looks like a crack, but it's not a crack as such. It doesn't go through at all. So that's weird, and it's got a little crack down there at the base, you see, base of the handle. So it's very important, isn't it, when you have a firing, to observe these little things about the glaze. Now here's another. This is raw, once fired. It's come out pretty nice, and that one also, look down the bottom there. See that little crack there? And also something just up here on the, I'm not exactly sure what that is or what is causing that, but I've had that on two, and now there's a third one here. Let's look at that one. Again, a little crack down the bottom of the handle. And up here on the rim, you see that? Again there. And there's another one there. Just there. And look over here. Just the beginnings of something just there. Yeah. So, oh no, actually I showed you that one before. Sorry, I picked up the wrong one. I did a repeat of the first one. This is another one that was raw. Little tiny crack there, but then look up here on the rim. See these little indentations, these little marks here, there again, and look there. You see how it's and yet it doesn't appear to be a crack as such. It's I don't know if it's like something that's happening with the glaze. It's not quite melting quite properly there, or the glaze is just a fraction on the thick side and it's attempting to crawl but not quite doing a full-blown crawl, if you know what I mean, just sort of beginning to pull away a little bit. It could be that, it could be that, but anyway, so what I usually do with this firing, and I don't know how you do your firings, but when I finish the kiln and the cone is, we had cone 10, you see, we had cone 10 nicely down like that, so slightly snaking, which is what I aim to do. So what I do is at the end of a firing, I'll always, generally, I let it fast cool for about 15-20 minutes, maybe half an hour even, and then I will put the brick over the over here. I cover this with a brick, but I just leave usually about 1/4 of an inch gap so it can still feed through some cool air, but not as much, you see. In this case, I was firing and it was late, it was 1 o'clock or something by the time I finished, and I did a bit of fast cooling, and then I thought, I know what I'll do, I'll just put the brick and I put it over about halfway, or 2/3 of the way here, so leaving a bigger, I left a bigger gap, you see, all the way. Where's that brick gone? I don't know where I put it. Anyway, yeah, so I left a slightly bigger gap, and I let it go like that all through the night. Consequently, I'm not sure if that was a good idea, but I think that was the cause, I'll be honest with you, I think that was the cause of this popping off, because I fast cooled it just for too long. You know, I should have, it went too far. It gets to a critical point, there's a very critical point, I forget what the temperature is exactly, but there is a critical point, and I didn't show you these, did I? These were Celadon. These came out pretty amazing, I think. These were Celadon, just once fire, and I adjusted my regular Celadon glaze that I usually use, and all I did was add about 2% bentonite to it, and I glaze these when they're dry. These guys, I glaze them when they're dry, but I thought they came out pretty well. I was pleased with them. Yeah, they're nice and simple. I like simple things, I decided. So, yeah. I was happy with those. So, anyway, that's about it, really. If there's anything here that interests anybody, basically my mug's around about $28 to $30. It just depends. These water containers. Let me show you how we use one of these. If I can make a fool of myself, I don't know. I probably can. So you just take it like this, you see, and you just let it pour. You see? So as it pours out here, air has got to come in through the mouth. Now this particular one, you'll see I put a little gauze over it here because I'm currently using this one, and I just thought in case a fly wanted to go in there or some creature. So I can fill it, you see, through the gauze just by pouring it through from my filter jug in the kitchen, and I just put that there. You could actually put a cork there, I suppose. Yeah. Works pretty well, I have to say. Okay folks, I thank you for joining me, and yeah, we're on a journey, aren't we? A journey, trying to do something new, breaking some new ground, and it does require being willing to make mistakes and to push your own boundaries a bit and try things, you see. And I hope that what I'm doing is inspiring you out there and making you think a little bit about, well, why do I bisque fire? And maybe if Simon can do it, then maybe I can too. But anyway, it is nice to be able to make stuff much quicker and more directly, apply the glaze, and you're ready to fire. You see, look. Before and after. Before and after. Yeah, a little bit of shrinkage there, of course. You're going to see a bit of shrinkage, aren't you? Well, you expect that. But okay folks, well thank you for joining me. Join us on a workshop. We've got spaces coming up in the fall now, or the late summer. I've got spaces in I think in August, 1 or 2 spaces. I've got 2 workshops. I've got one coming up this weekend and another later on, 2 weeks later, and then also into September I've got quite a few, and October and November we've got quite a lot of empty spots there, empty spaces. So come and join us for a keep practicing workshop, and if you've got questions about once firing and raw glazing, well, we can bash our heads together and we can all learn. Yeah. Okay, thanks folks. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.